Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. My name is Scott. I'm joined today by two lovely gamers. What is popping, gamers? Maverick and LV.
Are we supposed to answer at the exact same time?
Yes, I need you both to talk simultaneously.
All right. Well, I mean, gaming, that's kind of like a thing at this point. Do we see a decline in gaming nowadays? I'm always asking this.
Just LV now?
I've been kind of busy at work.
And Maverick now? Just Maverick?
I'm here, and games.
Both of you together, but quietly.
Okay, so when it comes to video gaming, the ideal part about video gaming is that you have videos and games. But when it comes to the game aspect, it's very difficult to figure out what's a good game. And when it comes to figuring out the ideal game, you're trying to figure out what you want to be able to do. This is Reply Games, and I'm your
Hard
host.
stop! LV, what have you been playing?
I've been playing several things. I haven't been... if you were able to hear the last several seconds, I did say I haven't been playing a lot, until like recently, I just decided to play, oh shit, I gotta play a huge chunk of stuff that, came out like, within the past quarter of the year, that I really wanted to play, and now I got a sample, I think, to surmise my opinions of them and whether or not I want to resume them. I do want to acknowledge we all three of us played one game in particular together.
We did,
yeah. As of last night of this recording, it was really fun. We did play the recent Jackbox.
We did, the brand new one that just came out.
The long-running franchise Jackbox party games. I don't know how long it's been going, but
it's been going on for a really long time.
They're almost in the tens. You know, they're gonna keep...
Yeah, and not just like Jackbox, but also just like the weird. It being a weird offshoot of the You Don't Know Jack series of like trivia games.
Yes,
it's like,
yeah.
I had one of those on like my iMac, you know,
wow.
Real old stuff.
Wow, yeah.
They've been around forever. But yeah, we played a bunch of the games on it. The only one we didn't play was Drawful Animate, which I've actually seen a bunch of footage of that, and it's way cooler than you think it is.
Right.
Because the sort of the like catch of it is that instead of drawing one image, you draw 2 frames of an image and they like animate. And the game works by they give you like a really fucking inscrutable prompt, and then you somehow have to draw it, and then just like Drawful, like your friends need to guess like which one of the prompts it is out of all of their collective guesses.
Right.
But what this game does that's genuinely brilliant is that the prompts themselves they've like taken a real right turn into totally understanding how people talk to each other online and how like people talk to each other in friend groups, especially when doing silly games like this. So the prompts are super deceptive. Like they'll like include spelling errors for no reason. They'll include like weird uppercase, lowercase. They'll include, I think I've seen like emojis in them before too. So it's just like, it's all this stuff to just like really throw you off the track of like which one is the real one. And it's really interesting. Like they've done a really, really good job of hiding that information, especially when like in the past it was usually really easy to pick out what is like the very rigid answer to something.
Yeah, that definitely sounds more intuitive compared to like, you know, how they tease us like, oh, Drawful now has an animation feature, but it's just like, oh, it's just one more drawing. You're making like a cute little two frame looping GIF thing. But it's like, oh, okay, there actually is more to it that wasn't really explicitly said.
Yes.
In the initial tease of it. You know, it's like, oh, it's just Drawful with another image. It's like, oh, but there's more to it. So that's cool. That's cool.
And the animation aspect of it is really interesting because it's like, now that you're seeing 2 images of the same thing, like, the important details of them tend to come out more.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, this is what this person really put the effort into drawing in this frame and in this frame.
Right.
And it's like, it's really helpful for deciphering that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's really cool. I hope we get a chance to actually play that game.
Yeah.
because I think you especially will like it.
Oh, yeah, definitely will love it. I know tons of, there's actually like an animation group I'm in, right? Like another Discord server with a lot of animators on it who are literally playing that first game right now, which is really funny. Everyone was like so hyped for it. No, yeah, it's for sure. But in general, like, the ones I did manage to play, which was pretty much the rest of them, I managed to have a sample of the rest of them. They were all good. They were definitely all good. I definitely the last two of these in the series, both Party Packs 8 and 7 are just very solid.
Right.
I'm very torn between like which is better, but I think these are just both equal in terms of like very fun and definitely improved in terms of like what were issues, I guess, in the past ones. And really at this point, yeah, they understand their audience. Like you said, it's interesting. Like they get like online speak and just, yeah, the way people talk to each other and actually taking that into consideration for some to help heighten the humor that you can create out of these scenarios, out of these prompts you're going to get out of the games. We should talk about like a little bit about the specifics of each one.
Yeah, sure.
What should we start with? Well, the one
there was
no particular order. Thinking of.
I was gonna say like there's another drawing game in that one as well. It's a murder mystery.
Yeah, the murder mystery one.
where all the players are murderers and also detectives, and you're all killing accomplices that you're bringing to the this very fancy party, and you're trying to solve each of those murders. While also trying to deceive the other people around you so they don't catch you. And the way it's facilitated is that you have to draw your murder weapons, and every murder weapon needs to have an insignia on it that's present, and the insignia is always a letter. So you're like your friends need to. If they're trying to nail you down, they need to figure out, one, is there a letter anywhere in this image? Which there always is.
And the thing
Some
is,
people
the letter,
are really good at hiding it.
So the big important thing we did not realize, which became an issue somewhat, but it led to funny results, was that the letter is a letter randomly taken from your name that you write in for your character. So the problem at this point, later in the night, we all just, for some reason, decide to do variations of the same name.
Yeah. It became
so that
harder on ourselves.
Problematic.
I think it actually really works to the game's favor, because it's like now there's so much more mystery around whose is what.
It could be anyone. It's like, oh man, 5 out of like 7 of us have all an I in our name.
Yeah. But I think like the actual letters itself are like, they're not going to have repeat letters for the symbol. So it's like, as soon as you start to associate, oh, this is this person's letter, I should be able to find it in any other like murder weapons. Like that tends to be where the mystery solving comes from. And I think it's really, really effective. It's really hard though, and you just cannot nail someone down at all, period. They also throughout the game, you use the same letter, but then it introduces like both lowercase and like cursive variants.
Yeah.
So it becomes even more complex. It's really cool. It's a neat game that I think requires a ton of effort on the players.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like every Jackbox, there's always that one game that is like going for it like an overhead concept. Like I've got the games up right now, and for each party pack, it's like I don't hear enough people talk about like Word Spud, Idiots, or Bomb Core, Faking It. I never hear about Civic Doodle. I think is like there's a fucking Jackbox Party Pack 5 is the black sheep of this. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Oh my god. Push the button in Jackbox Party Pack 6 got so fucked over by the fact that Among Us Sensations came out like a month or two later. But no, I feel like LVN mentioned that like 7 and 8 feel like they're definitely getting back into a stride, and I would really agree with that, where even something as higher concept as Weapons Drawn, I can tell, like, okay, if I play a few more rounds of this, if I, like, let myself get into this during the course of a night, I could get it, and it'll be so much more fun from being able to just like get into that process. So even if it is the higher tier, not like higher tier concept, but just like the one where they're definitely like, let's try something a little bit different and a little bit more involved. It's definitely one that could like actually support itself once people get the hang of it.
Yeah. I think when it comes to Jackbox games, though, it's like usually when a pack just has like the game that's the best one, most people just kind of ignore everything else. And just go straight for that one. But if you're in more of a party setting, then obviously you're going to want to try stuff and have more variety. I think the thing that's really cool about this game specifically is I had something and I started going back into it just to see if I could remember it as soon as I got to it.
For weapons drawn?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? I lost it. Someone else take it. Well, edit that out.
Well, I was going to move on to probably another title to talk about.
Yeah, go for it.
I guess like I guess going backwards from like the least unhinged energy to eventually the most chaotic of the night. The pole mine one. So that one is basically depending on the amount of players, like everyone's like sorted between these two parties, like in an RPG essentially, like an adventuring party. And the whole premise is that everyone is like dungeoneering and trying to go deeper into to a mine or trying to escape. They're trying to escape, I believe. Yeah, they're like deep in the mine and trying to escape. And basically the point system is like whoever has the most torches at the end essentially wins, whose team, and or who at least survives to an extent if everyone loses torches. And it's, I would say it's kind of close to the equivalent of like what this PAX Quiplash is. So it's again, it's like a whole thing about.
I disagree. I think this game has a way more explicit Quiplash.
Oh no, for sure, absolutely. But it's very much okay. This is I guess the comparison is just because like it's the same type of game. Like it's a trivia. It's a survey like trivia game weighing people's opinions against each other. But in this case, it's very much like you trying to figure out what answer would be the most popular among the group. And then, you kind of have to keep that a secret between the two, outside people. Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's especially funny because it's like, you'll have your two groups of people. So essentially it splits it up into two groups.
Right.
Every single they give you a prompt and a bunch of answers, and you have to rank your answers. I think in order of like, what are your top three or whatever are, depending on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then once all of those are tallied up and ordered, it goes turn by turn, and each team needs to figure out the order of the list in order to progress. And it has like different variables of it. It's like, you have to find the top three, or you have to find like the bottom of the list or something. And that stuff is cool. I think what's really interesting about it though is there's sort of like two different games to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, if you're just playing with a small group of friends, you're trying to weigh what all of your friends might say about these answers.
Right.
But if you're playing it like on stream with a whole bunch of people watching, all of those people can vote as well.
Yeah.
And then it becomes you actually trying to vote against a popularity poll.
Yep.
It's neat. But I really like the interplay of like trying to conceal information from the other team, especially while the two of you are right next to each other. And you can like deliberate between each other. It's interesting. It's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, like, it's very fun with our last round, basically having to be to guess the entire list from bottom to top, and just having to think like, okay, what. Like, immediately the process being like, okay, this was in my top 5. Were any of these in your top 5? No. Okay, so what would, like, systematically, what would be the least ranked item there?
There's a little map to it, yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush. The prompt we got was sexiest office item.
Oh, yeah.
So then it became this thing of like, I need to judge.
I judge? How did we each judge this question?
How did we judge it? Yeah.
Or was there a weird way we interpreted it? Yep.
And then we're learning things about our friends, and we may not want to know.
I feel like all things considered, the list was fairly normal.
It was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I understand why Ruler didn't make number 1. but that's okay.
Again,
that's
I can-
okay.
I mean, I think every single one of us. I think Stapler was on the bottom, so that's very nice and reassuring. I think Stapler was
I
like.
see. I see the argument
was
for
last.
ruler, but highlighter.
No, absolutely.
Come on.
We don't need to deliberate it again.
I know, but I'm just saying.
There were a lot of really cool games in this. What was the other
The
one?
wheel, the wheel of enormous.
The wheel,
proportions.
yeah.
Yeah.
The wheel was a very like
That one's
Yeah.
explicitly a trivia game.
Yeah, it's very like it's a very prototypical trivia game, but they have the added chaos of there being a wheel that you need to spin.
Randomness.
I
Yeah.
was so fucking
And-
mad.
God.
Yeah, like it's a game that gets you bad in a very fun way because it has that like really awful Mario Party element. of randomness.
Yeah, that's the best way to
So
describe
for
that feeling.
context, I was doing pretty good at the trivia. I was
yeah.
getting up, like, legitimately was just ranking high with every question. And then just whenever we had to spin the wheel, just, all right, who's going to land on? Not me. Fuck this. I deserve these points. I need these points.
Right.
But
Yeah.
just, oh my God.
Yeah. It basically was like, no matter how well you do across the questions being asked, there's still like a whole chance that someone else can just beat you out entirely because of
Yeah.
this randomness of spinning a wheel and getting extra bonus points.
It has the thing I like out of those kind of games where it's just like it's just adding element after element after element to it in a way that you're just like, oh, come on. Like,
Yeah. Like, it's good that the way that you finish the game is by getting enough points to spin the wheel so that you can end the game.
Yes. And also, I think it sucks that I forget who won. I think it was Shoeless. I don't remember.
It was me.
But, like,
I won.
It was you. You won. Oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
But like, so the way it goes is any player that reaches 20,000 points first gets to spin the winning wheel, and if you spin the winning wheel and it lands on your thing, then you win the game. But how it's supposed to go is it's like, you're not really supposed to land on it first chance, like someone here did.
Yeah.
But it's like other people will catch up, and then their names get on the list, and then it like becomes this game of like, oh, we really want to make sure this awful game we hate playing, keeps going, so someone else can win.
Well, no, if you're good enough, then you just win.
Oh, of course, yeah, no, it's a pure game of skill, just like Mario Party.
Yeah. I'm sorry that you're not good enough at the game.
That's right. And then I think our favorite, my favorite at least. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think the collective favorite in our Discord was Job, which is the like Quiplash equivalent. But like the way it like distinguishes itself from Quiplash is you're not writing your own prompts. You do start the game by writing prompts, but then those prompts get jumbled up, and the words get sent to other players, and then the players need to use the words from everyone else to assemble their own prompts to answer questions. And it is truly, I think, a truly delightful experience. Because it comes to a point where it's like we're all just writing stupid bullshit just to make each other laugh, and then people taking those words and then recontextualizing them in new ways. It turns the like process of putting together like caveman speak into like making funny jokes. It's good. It's like a really, really smart construction of a game like this.
Right. There's like so much freedom to kind of, I think in comparison to a lot of other games, where you can just put whatever you want in a way. Like you can probably even think of like once you know the mechanics of the game, it's like, oh, maybe I can service other people by like writing, like providing some words in a very specific way and see what happens, or you can just take the question seriously and just answer however you want.
Right.
But yeah, at a certain point when it really regressed, I think it became clear there was a theme going on. And I was like, oh, okay.
Listen, everyone loves Toriel.
Yes.
That's exactly what we learned.
Yes.
You ever think about Rousey smoking a fat dart? Oh my god, it's good when the best Jackbox games are the ones that let you know when you can just put in your bullshit, and even regardless of how many times you see that bullshit come up, you'll always laugh if someone manages to pair it with the right question. And like my pantheon of Jackbox games are definitely Fibbage is up there for its own sake, but it's definitely the Quiplashes. TKO is uncontested.
Yeah, TKO is amazing.
TKO is amazing. Like any of the drawing ones, Talking Points honestly has some good highlights.
I love Talking Points. That's probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, Job immediately ranks itself up in that category just for being able to say, like, use words. Put as much bullshit as you can put in, because that is where you're gonna cultivate just next level debauchery. And the fact that the game will even say, like, oh, if you have nothing to work with, you can always just repeat the same word every like a few times.
Yeah. It encourages you to go stupid, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
I think my biggest problem with it is I don't think it gives you enough space in the part where you're like using other people's words, because then it's you wind up using like 12 words total or something, and it's like, I'd really love to use more of these sometimes. Like, just put together more complex sentences. And I think if it had that option, then it would probably be even better. It's already a very fun game. Like if anyone was just like, hey, do you just want to fucking hop onto some job? I'll be like, yeah, brother, let's fucking go. I think that's the entirety of the Jackbox. Any other Jackbox thoughts before we move on?
I forgot. I didn't even realize that like 8 would have come out in like the span of a year. Like, I hope that they're resting and they're taking their time. But just wow, feels again. I feel like 7 came out last year. It is remarkable that they were able to do a quick turnaround and also something like just as strong.
Mm-hmm. I think what's interesting is, like, all of these games in this party pack are very derivative of their older games, but in ways that are super, super sensible. Like, Jackbox games are obviously very derivative of each other. Like, there's a reason they've done so many different Quiplashes. But it's like, they're trying to find ways to use even those same formats and then innovate on them in ways that are very fun. And I think that's cool.
Yeah. That's really the hardest part. It's less of them, like...
Yeah.
If you're reusing the same, Drawful here and Drawful 27, you're reusing assets. That's fine. But like, innovating it and the ideas of like, how can I make this new is the hardest part, really.
You can tell it's people that actually do care about the comedy of their craft, because they could just as easily go ahead and do Quiplash 4, Quiplash 5, Quiplash 22. Just continue to put out packs, but not like they will say, like, what is our game? What are the rules of our game? The core mechanics of this game, and how can we implement that in a new setting to still...
How can we twist it?
Yeah. Which, honestly, like, props to them, because, again, not everything hits, and I appreciate the Jackbox team for being able to still recognize that and say, like, all right, what didn't hit from this? How can we implement this somewhere else? And just really growing from the variety of, like, games that they've been able to make so far.
That's Jackbox 8. It is available now. I highly recommend you check it out. It's just like other Jackbox games. It's a fun time. I know I specifically prompted LV to go for a game, but I feel like I kind of monopolized that.
That's
so like,
okay.
if you want to go for another, please, by all means.
Sure, yeah, I'd be happy to. I'm torn between oh, this is pleasant, this is wholesome, versus like, oh, this is, I don't know. I think I'll go with wholesome first. Like, we're starting off in a very positive, like, oh, this is a great game, and this came out recently. I think it literally came out like a couple of days ago. I'm not sure, but I felt like it came out within this month of October. And it's called Growing Up, and it's a child raising sim, actually. So if anyone's aware of like the Princess Maker series, for instance, that's pretty much what that is. You get this child and you're like, oh boy, what are they going to be? And that the whole aspect is like, you're influencing the things they do, or, if not totally managing the things they do, to ultimately.
Oh, it is just straight up a princess maker.
Oh yeah,
that's wild.
Oh yeah. But there's a lot of things very different about it, as I will go into. About like, just to I guess explain the Princess Maker game, a Princess Maker game, and any other similar child raising sims that I might not be aware of. Or have forgotten, unfortunately. I think Magical Diary is one. But yeah, like Princess Maker, basically, you find this baby. At least I think from the original game. I think that's the premise in all of them. And you're just a guy. You're just a guy who has to like raise her now. It's like, oh boy, this is definitely a parent. And yeah, you're doing things like scheduling out her day. Like, oh, she's gonna go to school. Like basically scheduling out a week or, of activities. Like, oh, she's gonna go to school. Then she's gonna, find a part-time job, etc. And like, yeah, you map that out. And basically, like it has this like stat, like growing system where like, okay, she's getting skill points in that, etc., etc. It's a whole like, basically child raising sims are basically management games. That's what they are.
Right.
You're like strategizing in your mind the probabilities of her like, like, oh shit, she's gonna fail this event and not earn like a boost in her like, I don't know, attack skill or whatever, which will be useful later on for when she has to get older and has to fight. Like, will that fuck her over later on? It's like it's a lot of these these planning things ahead of time. And ultimately, yeah, like again, like a lot of simulation games, like what you do ends up, it ends up influencing what happens to her final fate at the end when she becomes an adult. So things like, and Princess Maker takes place in like a fantasy setting. So some of the endings are like, oh, she just becomes like, she becomes a queen, like holy shit, or she becomes like, I don't know, she becomes like a demoness or something. She like she just decides like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to hell, whatever.
The
all
one
these
I'm
things.
familiar with is Long Live the Queen, which is the one that takes the like Princess Maker formula, but also adds the layer of like, oh, we're adding like actual like real political intrigue. Oh
yeah, and that's what makes it fun. It's a really goofy one. Yeah, I think
it's a cool game.
Yeah, Long Live the Queen and Magical Diary. I think they are both. Is it Magical Diary? I know they like, but they're both by Hanako Games, published and developed. They have a lot of these Otome games, similarly. I don't think it's Magical Diary. I'm not sure. It might be just a Dane sim, but like, they also have another child raising sim. I forgot the title. I'm not sure if it's Magical Diary. But yeah, basically similar system. The difference with, growing up, however, is you're kind of in the perspective of the child themselves. You're not really the parent.
And also the major thing is, this is happening like in a very contemporary setting.
Oh yeah, and in the 90s in some sort of Western set. Yeah, like whoa.
Definitely not a princess.
Oh, definitely not a princess. Definitely not no dragons here, no. And no like political intrigue, as far as I know. But I did a couple playthroughs, but I've only ever hit like the preteen stage. But yeah, you're technically in the perspective of the child, like in which you're not really the parent or parents choosing like what your kid can do. You're kind of like omniscient, like just hovering over as this weird conscience as the kid themselves choosing what to do per day, which is things like, you actually start off as a baby and like, you're like, oh, literally, the only thing as a baby you can do is like, you gotta prioritize crawling. That's all you can fucking do, right? Like you can't do anything else. But then there will be things like that you start basically learning more skills, as you age up. And like, as you age, pretty much like goes by kind of quickly too. Like, like several rounds you're already like 3 years old or something, etc. Then you start going to school. So then, yeah, you have like a bunch of skills now you have to start balancing in regards to what do I want to prioritize? Do I want to prioritize my creativity? Do I want to prioritize my empathy, my intelligence, my academics, my physicality, all those things. And similarly to like other games where there's like a skill map, there is kind of like that here. And then you have like a limited amount of points to spend to like further that onwards to unlock more skills or to be able to use more skills per day, to again, just increase them. And that's how that rolls. How the game begins is that you're like nothing but your nothingness, essentially. It's a little weird. It's like very much like, yes, you're limited to a boy and girl. It's very cheesy. It's like what, like, it's like, oh, your parents wrote a letter to your unborn self and they're like, oh, we would love to be, we're hoping, I don't know, just like writing some sort of sentimental vague letter to their kid who's about to arrive into this world. And that's kind of how you customize your starting, like, build in a way. It's a little, I don't know, it's just a little weird. Like, I hear that stuff all the time. You know, things like, oh yeah, like, you know, parents coming together and, like, just thinking about their rhetorical child, and then, like, this whole, like, future letter thing. Like, you know, like, what would you say to your future kid, etc.? What do you would hope for them, right? But that's kind of how it starts off with, you know? Otherwise, it will just, you know, like, in terms of your appearance, it will, like, randomly generate it, or, again, you can kind of, like, influence it in a way. It's a little weird because the way they frame that question is, like, how are your parents? I don't know. It's a little bizarre. I never really think about that part too much. I'm just like, let's just go random. Like, let's go, you know, like, let's figure this out, right? It doesn't matter to me that much. Yeah, and, you know, something like the Princess Maker games, like, you're playing you're raising a fixed kid, you know, you're like, oh,
right.
It's like, it's a fixed specific character.
I have to say, I'm watching some gameplay of it right now, and there was a part where they were at the park,
yeah,
and they just chose to do the slide 5 times in a row, and it's like, that's really funny. Like, just planning that out.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, there's things like, oh yeah, you have like a mental health meter. Like, oh, if you just do too much skills that are dependent on working and exerting yourself, like, you're gonna have a hard time, doing what, you know, continuing to do other activity. You're not gonna be able to. It's kind of like a stamina meter in a way, which is very interesting.
This like skill tree thing too is really weird.
It is very weird. It kind of doesn't have a lot of logic to it, to be honest.
It looks a lot like, this is a weird pull, but it looks a lot like the blood web from Dead by Daylight, because it's like, it's the kind of thing where it's like,
well, they look like neurons. That's what they're supposed to kind of look like.
But functionally, it's like, okay, you're picking these skills, but then you're essentially, like, locking yourself out of other stuff, like, as you go. And it's like, it's really, like, it's really weird. It sort of looks like you pick something and then it, like, I can't tell if you, like, pick a thing and that's what you go into next, or it's like, you pick this thing and then, like, all these other things around you also, like, get added to your skills. I can't tell.
Well, how it works is that, you know, if you pursue a particular path, it's more like you just kind of want to, you know, at a certain point, you're going to start seeing larger symbols that symbolize a particular skill. Like, you know, let's say empathy would be like a heart. And if you want to focus on that, but then you're like, shit, there's nothing in this map that's leading me anywhere to, like, more empathy points, you know? But there might be, like, a large empathy symbol that's, like, there. And if you want to go around it, you know, if you go around it or near it, that will buff it up more, you know? That's what, you know, there's kind of, like, a strategy there, but not really. It really does feel a little random in terms of how, like, the mind map basically is, you know, formulated. There's not a lot to it. It's really just, like, okay, picking and choosing, to be honest.
It makes sense, though, because it's, like, that sort of feels like naturally conducive to how growing up works. Is like, you know, you're not min-maxing your child as you grow up. Like, you're, you know, learning little things here and there as you go.
Right. And yeah, ultimately when they get older and, you know, start actually talking with people and, like, actually have conversation, you know, that's when you have, like, social events, whether or not you can improve a relationship with someone. Maybe eventually when you reach your teenage years, you date someone, etc. So yeah, it's just a very sweet, nice game so far. From my understanding, I feel like, you know, as much as they're like, oh yeah, there are multiple ways to it. I'm not convinced that, I don't know, something about me is telling me, like, I'm not convinced. I did see, like, some, like, issues where people complained that it felt like their playthroughs were kind of the same either way. Like people who played it way longer than I have at this point, who have mentioned that they felt like the algorithm is not, like, as random, or, like, there isn't a lot of, like, different variations that are provided no matter the playthrough you play. Like, it seems like it's not, you know, there are, but it's not like a whole plethora of hundreds of it, you know? Right, exactly, right. Especially since I've not personally played further in terms of, like, how much really, you know, your build really influences your, like, eventual relationships that you develop later on, or, like, your relationships with your parents, for instance. That's, like, one of the first things that happens. Like, you know, are your parents going to be pushy at some point, and how are you going to react to that? And, like, you know, how are they going to influence, like, what you end up doing, etc. But otherwise, like, it's just a nice kind of, like, relaxing game, you know, to just kind of go through, you know, and, like, feel it out. I think my biggest, you know, like, you know, and, like, again, like, if it doesn't have, like, a lot of variation between playthroughs, that's, like, not, you know, like, for me, at least, it's like, oh, okay, you know, it's, you know, it's whatever. You can only do so much, I think. especially since like this developer really hasn't made other games of this kind before. So that's kind of like, oh, okay, they're doing something new. I think really my own issue with this game really is I don't like the music. It's kind of like this very sweet, like music, and it's like kind of folksy. But then it has vocals, and I think that's what bothers me. It's like I don't want to hear like this lady humming for like for doing like like in a repetitive way as I'm just trying. It doesn't feel like relaxing to me. It feels kind of like intrusive. It's like, oh, okay, I can handle like it's like, oh, this is nice. This is being like a sweet acoustic string guitar thing going on. Like, oh, it feels very folksy. It's like, oh god, good vibes, autumnal vibes, very good. But then vocals kick in. It's like, oh god, this is really this is weirdly overpowering. It's just like like you're playing, and it's like I kind of then my brain is like, oh god, now I have to pay attention to two things, which I'm not supposed to. Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why games like Kentucky Route Zero, whatever they use vocals, are very, very specific about it.
Oh yeah. And something about the mixing too, the music is just way too intense. I mean, I again, it's just me. I can probably just set the volume down and mute it, but like, it's just like, oh, I'm not really. It's one of those things where the song starts and it's like, oh, this is nice, and then like the vocals kick in. It's like, oh, this is like just too distracting,
Right. I wonder if there's like a turn off vocals option.
Yeah, just give me some instrumentals. That's fine.
Oh, well, that seems like a neat little game.
Yeah.
I've been playing a couple different demos of things lately. I played through that. I don't want to go too much into it because it's like, it's whatever at this point, but I went through, I finally got a chance to play that last Stranger of Paradise demo, which is the Final Fantasy Origin game made by the Neo team, and it's my first experience. It was my first experience with the game, and I love Neo, and this game is most certainly Neo, just with like a Final Fantasy coat of paint, and also like it strips down some of the systems, which is it's welcome, especially if you're trying to get more people onto it. And it does offer like multiple difficulty settings. I'm a sicko, so I immediately went to the hardest setting because that's like I love Souls games. Like this is what I want. But I feel like it has sort of the same problem Neo does when you're like trying to onboard into it, which is like it explains the mechanics to you, but the mechanics are often like you're not gonna get them until you like really get in there and mess around with them, and the enemies just hit super fucking hard. And the brilliance of Neo is like it offers you so many different like ways to counter that. Like the blocking is way more effective than you think it is. The dodging is obviously what you want it to be. You also have like different kind of parries you could do depending on the weapon you choose. This one has something similar in that, like, you have your dodges, obviously. It's Souls game. You're going to do dodges. But it also has two different types of blocks. One of them is, like, your standard physical block, but then the other one is like an absorption kind of move, where it's like you stick your hand out there, and then if someone shoots a spell at you, you can absorb that spell and, like, throw it back at them. Stuff like that. Or if someone uses a magic attack at you, like, you try to go for a physical block, it's not going to block the damage. Like, you want to use this, like, different, more magical block. And that on its surface is interesting. I feel like in gameplay it doesn't quite work super well because, one, the enemies hit way too fucking hard. Like, you mess up anything, you're pretty much done. I went through both of the bosses that are in that demo. The first one is the chaos one. You go and you fight chaos, just like you did in the first demo. It's a really fun fight. It's pretty difficult, but like I feel like it pays off super well. The second one is you fight the twin elementals, which are like the fire and the like water elemental,
right? Which
I think it's actually a boss fight in Final Fantasy 1. I don't remember. It seems like I can see those sprites so clearly in my head, but That boss fight fucking sucks. Like, I had such a miserable time playing it. I went through multiple sessions and just got so fucking angry. And it's like, I considered just turning the difficulty down, but it's like, it's the kind of thing where it's like, they're both completely magical enemies. So the only thing you can really do is use your magic counter, but your magic counter, like, drops your stamina way, way lower than your other one does. So, like, it's this thing of, like, I need to, like, I like really need to focus and pay attention and block everything I can block. But if I block too much, then I just leave myself completely open and then I'm dead because these guys are going to kill me in 1 second. It's the kind of thing where it's like, if you leave yourself open for just like a tiny minute, you've already failed and you've lost. And it's like, it feels so counterintuitive to the way like other Souls games work, where like Dark Souls is hard. But, like, the enemies don't kill you in, like, the enemies don't, like, one-hit kill you very often. Like, it usually, if something like that happens, it means you fucked up majorly, and then you learn from it. This is, like, I'm getting, like, 2-shot, 3-shot by, like, enemies that attack you really fast consecutively, and it's just so demoralizing. And and again, it's like the kind of thing where I could just bump the difficulty down, and maybe when I play it, when it comes out proper, I'll do that. But I don't know. It feels like the balance is off. Like, it has the kind of stamina bar that Sekiro has, but the reason Sekiro worked is every time you blocked, even if, unless you were on the super hard mode, like, every time you blocked, you still blocked damage. Like, you didn't get a perfect block, which is what you need to do in order to, like, progress in the fight. But, like, as long as you blocked an attack, like, you're still, like, keeping yourself relatively safe. And then this is just, like, if you mistime a block at all, you're fucked. Like, it just doesn't feel good. And that's a bummer. Especially because these games, especially something like Neo, are supposed to feel fucking good. Like, that's how they work. You want to just swing swords and do, like, cool parries and stuff, but it's a bit of a bummer. I hopefully they, like, tune that stuff a little better by the time it comes out. Team Ninja is definitely, like, very receptive to fan feedback. Like, one of the things that was very, like, one of the things about, like, the original, like, Neo betas were, like, they listened to fans hard, and they, like, completely retooled that game in between betas, and it became so much better as a result of it. And hopefully, they put out their survey, people have filled it out, and hopefully they make some significant changes. I don't know. It's weird. It's the kind of thing where it's like, it's a game where you have to, like, bring a party with you, and you have to keep them equipped, and also the party feels useless. You know? It's a bummer. I wanna play more of it. I like these games. I like Final Fantasy. I like Neo. Like, this should be an easy layup for me, but something's not landing.
Right. At this point, do you have any sense as to what the plot is?
So Jack hates chaos.
Right, that's been established, yeah.
So this is the twist that happened in this new beta that just came out, is that when you go and fight chaos, it's not actually chaos, it's a girl. Okay. And her name is Neon. And she and her whole backstory is like, I was in another party and we were also trying to fight chaos, and then I realized chaos isn't actually a person, it's like a concept. So you meet Neon, she tells you that chaos isn't really a thing, it's more of like a concept, and then she thought that like in order to actually keep balance in the world, she needed to become chaos, and then that's why she like put on a huge fucking suit of armor, and then Jack says bullshit and puts on Linkin Park and walks away.
Oh yeah, I think that's the clip. And
saw. The amazing perfect clip, and then right after that, Neon joins your party, which is weird because it's like, oh, we had these two characters before, and it's like, oh, it makes sense it's like a retread of Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy had 4 party members, so of course you get a 4th one. And then you go into the party menu, and you can only have 2 other people with you at a time. So I have 4 party members. And I only play Jack. Like you can't switch to play as any of the other ones.
So everyone else is just AI. It's just an NPC.
Yeah, they're just AI party members. But they just, like, I can only bring 2 of them with me.
Okay. That's weird.
And
is there an explanation?
No.
Okay.
Because it's like, even in cutscenes and stuff, they're all traveling together. And sometimes in missions, the person who's not there will just pop up and say something.
Right.
Like as if he's there with the party, but he's not doing anything. Right. I went and put the pink haired fuckboy away so I could have Neon in my party, and she's cool. She gets a sword and a shield.
Right.
She's neat. But you know, it's strange. It's very strange. Again, I want to play more of it when it comes out, but we'll see. Another demo I played is the Inscription demo, which is the new game that's coming out by the maker of Pony Island, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
And this game is so fucking cool. So basically it's a card game, and it tends to follow the same logic, the same like sacrificing logic that Yu-Gi-Oh does. Right. Which is interesting off the bat, because it's like, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh is sort of its own little like island. And other card games don't really play that way, and I think a game that is derivative the way that game plays is interesting. But also it's very like, it's also like, that's pretty much the only similarity. Like the rest of it is like, you have your deck full of wooden critters, and you're like, you're essentially, I can't totally surmise the plot from what I saw.
It looks pretty spooky. It's pretty spooky.
It is very spooky. Like, you've essentially been kidnapped, and you're forced to play this card game in this cabin with this old man.
Oh god, okay.
Yeah. And it's so fucking cool. Like, it's just dripping with fucking style and atmosphere. Yeah. And then, like, one of the coolest things is you'll draw a card, you'll draw the stoat, and then the card starts talking to you. And essentially the stoat is like a spirit of another person who is kidnapped in the past, stuck in that card. Yeah. But they still like have managed to retain consciousness. Right. And can talk to you. And he's like, yo, listen, if I can help you out here, we'll get each other out. We'll do this. Let's go. And it's like, okay, let's go. And then the stoat will also like just comment on your plays, and he'll tell you, and we'll just like be really antagonistic towards you. Like, that's what you're doing? Wow, that's a shitty play. What's wrong with you? It's like, it's a really fun, like, antagonistic relationship between a card and essentially a nameless player character. But the gameplay itself is cool. Like, you have a lane, and the old man has 2 lanes. Essentially your lane is like, you play your cards down, and they'll attack automatically at the end of the turn. And what the old man has is, there's an incoming lane and then like a front row, and then like he'll play cards that will eventually go to the front row. So you get a lot of information of what exactly the opponent is about to do before you can like make the plays that you're about to. And it's really interesting in how it plays. Like, there are just a ton of different variables to all the cards. Like, there's so many, and it intentionally does not explain any of them until maybe you've already failed at using one at some point. Like, it waits until the very last second to explain things to you. And even so much as like, if you're doing really well and you blast through that demo, you miss so much stuff. Like, I went and beat the boss of the demo, which is this prospector boss.
Right.
And then, like, as soon as I finished it, it's like, okay, cut to a trailer for the game. And it's like, wait, that's it? So I went back in and I died, like, on purpose.
Right.
And it fucking whipped. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen, like, in a demo. So what happens when you die is, he throws you into another, like, he drags you into another room. Mm-hmm. He's like, I want to get a memento from you. And then you need to make a new card out of like some of the cards in your deck.
Right.
And then you can name that card whatever you want. And then he'll take a picture of you and he'll put that picture on the card and then you're dead.
Wow.
And then, you just kind of spawn in again. Like you come back in as a new player and you have like a brand new deck.
Uh-huh. That's very interesting.
Like,
yeah.
And one of and like my like player card that I made like wasn't in my deck or anything, but like while I was playing the game and like going through, so there's like two different phases to it. There's like the card the card mode where you face off with each other, and then there's like a sort of like D&D style adventure overworld map where you're going like place to place and then like weird scenarios play out. And those like scenarios have to deal with like, you know, upgrading the power of certain cards or like buying new cards, stuff like that. And eventually I got to a point where it's like, hey, pick any one card from like the set of cards and we'll add it to your deck. And one of the cards that was there was my soul card.
From your previous character.
From my previous life.
Very cool.
It's that kind of game where it drops that kind of stuff on you. Oh, and like as soon as I respawn into the game, it just introduces a completely new mechanic. Like it gives you a brand new mechanic called Bones. And what the Bones do is anytime you have a card out that like creates a certain number of bone, or anytime a card is discarded, it creates a bone. Mm-hmm. And there are also other cards that can generate bones. And the thing about bones is you can use them as tokens to summon things that require bones.
Oh,
it's
God.
Really interesting. And it's the kind of game where it just keeps piling on mechanic after mechanic after mechanic. And I never would have saw these things if I didn't willingly go die.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
So cool.
Yeah, it's so interesting that they put this replayability in the demo itself, mm-hmm. right? Which I imagine, like, when you're playing the full game, like this stuff is going to inevitably happen. Like this interesting,
yes.
like experiencing the game in a different way if you fail, right? But mm-hmm. that's actually really cool that they decide to throw that aspect into just the demo. Like that's
right.
awesome. To make sure, like, okay, this is what will happen.
And also, anytime you're not in a card game, you can just get up and walk around the cabin.
But you can't leave the cabin.
You can't leave. There's a door. You can try to use the door. It's locked. Uh-huh. You can't leave.
Right.
But there's like other weird knickknacks around that you can inspect.
It's like this can purely just be like, oh, here's a card game that like has a really strange, weird stuff, but then it has like all these other things not necessarily attached to the card game. Like it's pretty funny.
It's really interesting. I genuinely cannot wait for it to come out. Like it's probably like my most anticipated thing this year.
Yeah, that has me so interested in it now. Then, like that's. Like, yeah, it definitely sounds really interesting. Should try the demo then.
It's neat. You should. Everyone should try the demo. Go give it a shot. LV.
Yes.
Tell me about Ambition.
Oh yes, I will tell you about Ambition.
I'm familiar with the Ambition series from Newgrounds.
Oh boy,
which is
a
a great series, which teaches you a lot about psychology.
Absolutely. Oh god, yeah, I do kind of remember those ones. But well, I guess to get to the point, this game is not those games.
Oh no.
No, it's not. This is a dating sim, actually.
Okay.
Different story altogether. I mean, in a sense, this will also teach you about human psychology, maybe. And then what one must do to survive, probably. Will human instinct carry you, or will morals actually come in? Anyway, it's a Dane sim set like during the build up to the French Revolution. And it's like, whoa, isn't that what? Okay. But you have to consider too, this is also like, like pandering to people like me a little bit, like, let's have some fun. Let's make some goofy historical, like, nerd shit, right? Like, let's have that stuff, like, make fun of it a little bit, and that's kind of what this is. I don't think it's, like, insensitive at all. I think it's very clear as to what I think the creator's stance are on stuff like this. And very much, and pretty much you're playing this woman who was promised, like, oh, she can have a new life in Paris with her lover, essentially. And then she goes to Paris, she can't fucking find this guy. Fucking useless guy. Like, oh shit. But at the very least, she finds his house, and his, like, one of his servants is there, etc., and like, she can't find the answer she needs. No one's fucking talking to her because she, like, no one knows who she is. She's like, who are you?
Right.
Get me from outside. And then, of course, the nobility are absolutely not talking to her. This, like, whatever disgusting poor girl, wherever she came from, right?
Sure.
So the whole premise of the game, similar to the child raising sim I was talking about growing up, and like Princess Bear Consider, a lot of these sim games where they kind of have a timer, they kind of have a calendar where, eventually it's going to stop at some point, and that's how you're going to get ranked as to what happens to you. And ultimately, this game is about her trying to find answers, or maybe her just deciding to start a new life here in the city. Meanwhile, and at the crux of, like, some revolution brewing, a pretty big deal one across history. And, right, the Dane sim aspects is, she will meet new people, or, will she go back to her old lover, whether or not, what happened to him. And yeah, the whole conceit of this, that, like, to pretty much make use of the setting is that, will she end up, like, becoming friends and, like, siding with the revolutionaries, or will she end up, like, getting too far deep into, like, the bourgeois, like, culture that she herself would become, she will lose her head at then, like, that's the whole thing, it's either or. So, it's one of those tricky balances of, like, you kind of have, like, this peril reputation system, and then there's also, like, this gossip, like, mechanic thing, which is kind of funny in the game, where you can sell it off for money, etc., but at the cost of, like, risking your reputation if people find out you've been doing that, especially about, a particular gossip piece that might be talking to a specific NPC, like, oh, like, you want to befriend and get closer to that NPC to move forward and progress what you need to do, right? But then meanwhile, you have a piece of gossip about them, and you choose it to sell with, like, sell it to, like, whoever, and like, and there's that risk of, like, okay, they find out, that ruins your relationship with them, your reputation gets ruined, etc. So yeah, it's like, it's very interesting. It's like this tricky balance of, like, you're socializing between two worlds, and you have to use it to your wit's end, and, like, how's that gonna be useful to you depending on what sort of playthrough you want to do. And so it's, I would say it's not that, it's not unique doing that, of course. Like, I guess, like, to an extent, like, every sort of sim game has something like that. But in this case, it's very much pretty relevant, I guess, to the setting they decide to use. And yeah, it's overall kind of funny, if you're someone who, like, again, like I said, if you're a history nerd, like, kind of like me, and, like, who likes kind of, like, different explorations of fiction of this stuff, like, it's very much, it can be very much funny and very lighthearted in a way. And yeah, so far it's just very interesting. Like, I haven't really gone so deep into, like, finalizing a route with anyone really, but yeah, I do like it so far. I think it's just like another fun dating sim that I think anyone can try to get their hands into and see how it goes.
It looks neat.
Yeah, it's very neat.
Like the vibe I'm getting is, like, Crusader Kings by way of a dress-up game.
Oh yeah, basically, yeah. I one big thing I forgot to mention is, yeah, there's, like, a fashion system which ties in with the reputation system. It's outright explained to you, like, yeah, these like there's a whole thing where you have to go to these events, and it's important that what you wear is relevant, but also at the same time, people will notice if you keep using the same set of clothes all the time. Like, it's just like the exaggeration, but also unfortunate reality of very much, like, yeah, unfortunately that was how bad the classism was. Like, and making sure you're wearing the right, like, thing for events. For instance, like, if you're going to, like, something that involves, like, a lot of the revolutionaries, or, something like, like a and then you just decide to show up in some Rococo ass, like, powdered wig, that's, like, people will be offended by it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here, It's really funny, like, one of the, like, I think some of the factors was, like, one of the element, there's, like, I forgot the specific things, but, like, there's different, like, elements you have to consider. Like each dress has traits, there you go, like traits, and like one of them is church.
Of course.
You know, like, yeah, so of course, yeah, you're gonna run into clergy NPCs and like how will they fare, like, oh, like, whoa, that dress is too revealing, etc. if you go to that event, etc. But yeah, like that's there's like a whole other like system there too that also influences your reputation and how like you will make do at like these parties essentially. And like so far I'm getting also a feel of like the algorithm in this game too and the randomness, because when you go to these parties, not everyone you need to talk to will be there too. Like, and then again, like a lot of game sims, it does that. Like, you know, when certain NPCs will not be available for you to try to socialize with, like on some days, like, you know, and there's a lot of random events. So it's definitely like, you know, it's very possible, like, you had a very specific strategy in mind, but you're gonna get screwed over because for some reason, like, the right characters are not showing up for you that, you know, you want to develop relationships with, or that you want to screw over, you know? So yeah, again, like I said, it's not very unique in a sense to, like, what other visual novels and dating sims have already done. But it's definitely, like, I think it's definitely a solid one. You know, it's definitely fun so far.
It seems neat.
Yeah.
Maverick,
Yes.
talk to me about Metroid Dread.
Oh boy. So I'll posit this was the question. What is the last Metroidvania game that you played?
Ooh,
Oh.
God, it's been a while. I honestly can't say. That's like a really good question. There's been a lot of really good and interesting ones like within the last few years.
Right. I can't, for some reason it's a blur because a lot of the ones I've ever played were always like, they're not like, they're like indie games, you know, they're like, oh, there's like, especially in recent years, there's like tons of indie games like tackling that genre in their own way, but unfortunately they're all blurring. They didn't really, and not to say they're bad, it just means that like, oh, I'm not, that genre is not for me, but it's just they didn't really stick in my head. Like they just didn't leave a lasting impact. And again, not to say they're bad. I definitely recall enjoying a lot of them and a lot of them felt good, but they did not embed it in my brain in terms of like, oh yeah, I fucking love that game. This is a favorite game of mine, you know?
Right. Genuinely, I think the last one might have been Axiom Verge for me, which was a while ago.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna like, I posit that if only for the fact that the last Metroid game that I played was Metroid Fusion. When it got ported to the Wii U, that is like the one side scroller 2D Metroid game that I have played that I actually like saw to completion. Between playing that and getting into Metroid Dread, like. I posit that because of the fact that the genre of Metroidvanias, of exploration-based platformer adventure game, exploded within that span of time to just have so many classics and iterations and components to it that, you know, to have outside of any remakes like the remake for Metroid 2 Return of Samus, having a new Metroid title is equal parts so different to consider, but also just immediately comforting, and feels like I had like no time has passed between the last iteration and this one. Like I genuinely think about it where in loading up the game, the immediate setup of like, oh, why are we in this new situation? So Metroid Dread takes place after the events in Fusion. Quick spoiler warning for Fusion, basically, but, you know, Metroids are more or less extinct at this capacity, and the natural enemy of the Metroid is also a thing that is basically fused with Samus, and at this point, like, Samus is beyond human, and is having to grapple with this new existence as a post-parasitic Metroid creature, basically. And how that is just, like, a part of who she is now. But in having to deal with all that, has to go and, like, figure out a distress signal from a planet out in the solar system, out of this whole new system, and from that recognize, like, oh shit, there's a new threat popping up in this world that is trying to take advantage of these continual cycles of Metroid and post-Metroid parasitic creatures. And you gotta stop it. It is Metroid. Like, for the good in that, it is a seamless transition to get into that exploration again. I do not even remember pausing to read any tutorial to start up with again. The game just really says, hey, go. 9 times out of 10, you will not be someone that is unfamiliar with the way that we set up the bare structure of the game. We'll pop in to remind you how some new mechanics work. And there are some interesting mechanics where, much like Metroid Fusion, where the SAX parasite took this form that you had to avoid and added a horror element, there are various creatures that serve a similar purpose who basically do that in specific zones of the map. And so while you're able to still get your exploration and come to a sense of, that eventual build and growth that you come to as you play through Metroidvania, there is still that focus where, hey, these are spaces that you literally, all you can do is get better at running away from the big oogity boogity that's living there. You'll have the chance to maybe try and find some offense, but for now, just focus on running away. And the game does a really good job of being able to highlight that where, the EMMI, EMMI is what they're called. Like, you can counter or try to struggle against them, but it is a deliberately difficult QuickTime event if you get caught by one and you try to double down and get out of that struggle. It is a very difficult and quick-paced and straight-up unfair QuickTime event. The chances that you get to actually, hit it off, though, feel all the more rewarding, and it's even better of a reminder to just say, okay, well, I gotta go ahead and make sure I'm juking, I'm jiving, I'm using all the tools that I have to make sure that anytime I need to navigate this, death hallway, I can do it so that I don't have to worry as much. That being said, I think the EMMI can definitely provide some frustration in the overall game exploration, and I think that level of exploration is where there might be some evidence about where the Metroid formula still, I would say, still has its limits now that so many iterations and deviations from that formula have come out. I think the gold standard when it comes to exploration will still always be Hollow Knight. I think Hollow Knight really carved a name for itself in terms of how you explore your world and how you are able to cultivate that sense of exploration, regardless of which zone you find yourself in. With Metroid Dread, you do have your specific zones of exploration, but from that there is a lot of back and forth that comes out of the exploration process, which, not bad. It is a map that is designed to be explored and is designed to to be something that you just will continuously come back to. At the same time, I think I had specific instances where I did need to just look up a guide to go, okay, what hole in the wall do I need to blow up? What specific corner do I have to go ahead and blast a few bombs into so I can keep going? Not that that's a bad thing. I won't call the use of other tools bad when it comes to playing these kinds of games, but at the same time, it's like, all right, well, I'm progressing to it a certain extent, and I just hit a immediate plateau where it's like, all right, I've been running back and forth, I've been going up the elevators, down the elevators, I've been trying to figure out what exactly it is I need to do. Okay, I just didn't pay enough attention here, I guess. And, credit where credit's due, there's a lot of natural map progression as well. That, like I said before, it was only specific points that I had to really find myself trying different iterations, but otherwise it's like, oh, hey, I figured out that I need to use the screw attack here. All right, so I'll be on the lookout whenever I have to use the screw attack. I need to make sure that whenever I get my super missiles, I'm looking at all the doors that already have super missile setups. I think the issuing of power-ups as well is very good here. It is cool that, and it is cool that you do not get the morph ball immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That is a vital form of transportation in the Metroid series. And to explore the game without it, and to just see more and more of these tight crevices and small spaces that you could just immediately think like, oh god, I gotta roll onto that, or oh my god, I gotta go into that. Like, it is a delayed sense of gratification that I think is the bread and butter for how you ultimately get your rewards in this game. Like, it is a big tease to eventually get the Various suit when you have to like go through so many hot spaces and think, well, that's another place I can't wait to explore when I get to have this thing later. And ultimately, like, you know, once I was able to get more or less the main set of everything that I needed, it was so... It was a level of just power fantasy that I think a lot of Metroidvanias still struggle to get correctly. Getting to the point where, all right, you got everything that Samus has that she lost in the initial outset. All of your moves are there. All of your transportation means are there. You can just bounce around and go fucking nuts around the map now, because this is, you have done the exploration. You have done the work to be able to like earn that level of nutso map fuckery. And, you know, it was fantastic to get to that point where I'm just like, man, I like all this shit that was going to be a problem before. Nothing. Ain't shit. I'm too busy flash stepping and space jumping and going everywhere and just being a kid in a candy store in this dilapidated ruin of what used to be something that was very, you know, frightening. And it is very funny where to think about the dread aspect, I think the game really starts out with that intent for it to be much more of a hapless situation for you this time around. That being said, I'm glad that it does open itself up towards the end and realize, like, okay, yeah, like, when you're good at this game and when you spend at least enough time to get through it, it's not going to be scary anymore. And all you have to do is just recognize, like, oh, you're getting through patterns, you're getting through the motions. Literally, the boss fights, which I haven't mentioned yet, were some of the most frustrating that I've encountered in a while. But that being said, it was always just, all right, let me try it one more time. Let me see what I'm not getting right this time. Let me just keep trying. Like, it was the right level of difficulty that wanted me to keep pursuing until I eventually did just manage to get it through in that one go ahead. And it might, from what I'm talking about, it might just seem like, well, Maverick, this just seems like a very well put together video game and you're just having a fun video game experience. Yes. Like,
revolutionary.
Revolutionary when you can just have a fun video game. And I give it the time now to speak on it, but it's just like, so many of these have come out that have tried to be subversive or say a greater statement of itself or try to do so much more than what it is. And I feel like the team that worked on Dread really just figured out, hey, it has been a while since we have had a Metroid game, a standalone continual Metroid game. We can have fun with our theories, have fun with our narrative aspects to it, but it's like, there's a reason why I haven't really spoken much about the story, because ultimately, who cares about the story in Metroid? What you care?
A lot of people do.
Well,
so just giving you letting you know.
There's people that care about that story. Sure, all right. It's the beats are there, but ultimately, what's more important is that, hey, like, you're exploring, you're going through shit. You have a fun little parry mechanic that honestly really adds a nice level of like additional gameplay to just making yourself more deliberate in the way that you move around stuff. I finished the game with about 12 hours. That's probably been the shortest that I've spent on a game, but it's also still just been an experience that is lingering in my mind just because of how good it is. Metroid is a good short game, and I'm glad that I got the chance to familiarize myself with it again.
All right, cool. We've really got to move on to news soon.
Get those news.
LV, what do you got to say about Mr. Prepper?
I don't know if I'm playing a libertarian game, But yeah, so very quickly, I'm having fun with it. I'm just gonna throw out there this War of Mine. I really love the game. It's a side scrolling game where you're controlling these characters. You're literally prepping their shelter, and then you have to go out and forage more materials. It's side scrolling, and there's again like a Sims aspect to it too. You're trying to meet their needs while at the same time balancing all these outside elements that's just going to ruin everything and make you really sad. Very sad game, but excellent game. I felt this War of Mine, and this is what Mr. Prepper is. In terms of my comparison, it's very similar, but it's not sad. It's actually pretty fucking goofy. And at the very least, the setting is, I do not know when this game was developed. I don't know when this game was developed, so I'm not going to judge. I actually don't even know where these developers are based. I'm not going to assume they're American, because they don't have to be. However, the humor, it seems very responsive to, like, post-Trump administrative issues, like stuff like, the setting takes place in this exaggerated version of America where, people worship the president as like a god, and like they have like these agents sent to people's homes, making sure they're not acting out of line, etc. So that's one of the elements in the game where some guy is going to come to your house and you have to make sure to hide all your like fucking equipment and shit that makes it clear you're trying to escape the country or something, all that stuff. But yeah, like I'm not going to go too.
It looks like it's definitely leaning way more satirical than
an
actual
but again,
like libertarian fantasy.
Yeah, but who knows? It's like I don't. You never know with these things.
Yeah, again, like this doesn't seem like a game where you're playing as the gray man trying to peer back the thin veneer of society.
Oh no, yeah. The intro is really goofy. Like this, I don't know what this guy's name is. He says his name is Mr. Prepper. The people call him that. It's quite goofy, but
this is clearly not someone trying to blend into a crowd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But again, the whole thing is like you're basically prepping like a fallout shelter, underneath your basement. That's what's going on. And then, again, describing this War of Mine, you're going out to fetch more materials. What's kind of cool too is like, you can break down stuff in your house and be willing to sacrifice that for like ingredients to make stuff, etc. And then the balance of just basically not being caught. I haven't gone so further in. I'm sure there's other things like, I think there's things like wilderness can kill you, obviously. It looks like there's a car part that I'm not aware of. I think at some point I get a car and that happens. Oh, okay. I'm looking at a screenshot now. You at some point do have to deal with wolves. So at some point weapons will be made. But that's essentially what the premise of this thing is. It's very goofy. I do like how it plays. It's very simple. There's definitely like a lot of like unpolished aspects to it though. Like the UI is kind of like a nightmare at times. Like for instance, at the start of the game, you can shoot you can't choose actually. There is a fixed tutorial in the beginning of the game. And, God, it was so absurd because some friends were watching me play. It was just really funny. At some point, like, my sleep meter is just completely depleted. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just go to sleep first and then resume this next part of the tutorial. The fucking tutorial does not let you just do whatever you want. You're stuck doing the tutorial stuff and you can't fucking do anything. So it's like, oh, okay, so the moment the tutorial ends, like, oh shit, my character's AI is kicking in and is rushing out to the bed. And like, it's just why couldn't I not just flexibly do anything outside of the tutorial? It was really stupid because I knew like there's a bed there. I played other games before. So in conclusion, I can go to sleep and should be. Why is this tutorial holding me back from just wanting to go sleep so it doesn't screw me over the moment I exit the tutorial, But yeah, it's just fun and I'm using the word fun a lot because that's the point of games. You just gotta have fun. You gotta have fun with it.
Yeah.
It does its job. And yeah, it is genuinely like funny at times, but at the same time, it's like, ooh, I don't know who the people who made this. How do they feel about these things? Again, joking. Is this a libertarian game, like in sincerity, or is it just kind of making fun of that and like exaggerating the humor around that? To comment on something else, right? But yeah,
It definitely looks like a game that exists.
It does. It is certainly a game that exists. It really does not look great. I will say that too, but
No, it looks terrible.
It really looks rough. It's pretty kind of ugly. pretty kind of ugly. But it is what it is. It does its job. It's fulfilling the purpose it intends to do, and it works. Yeah.
It doesn't even let me fulfill the aspects of being a gray man prepper that I would want to, such as attracting no attention.
Yeah,
My mannerisms must be small and discreet, no sweeping gestures. The gray man is withdrawn. He does not project confidence. He does not look around much. He avoids eye contact. That doesn't seem like this game.
No.
I originally was not going to talk very much about it because I had only played a little bit, but when we were waiting to record, I played more of The Good Life, and man, we gotta fucking talk about this game because this is really something. So full disclosure, I did back this game on Kickstarter. Just wanted to get that out there just ahead of time. Just let you know, to let you, the listener, know of any potential biases. This is the new game by Swery, who has at this point a very, let's say, checkered relationship with some more progressive issues. He made The Missing, which is an incredible game, especially about the narrative of like being a trans character. And then he also made Deadly Premonition 2, which is a follow-up to Deadly Premonition, which contained a very, like, incredibly transphobic sequence. And then also in Deadly Premonition 2, it seemed there's also some pretty transphobic content in it. Like, sort of, I think, in the other direction, where it's like, he's trying so hard to be an ally that he doesn't understand how offensive this is being, Right. That's kind of the read
very
I got
misguided.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like,
but then on top of it, it's like also his relationships with certain people in the industry that is like, a lot of question marks, and like, where he lies on that, yeah. So it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. So coming into The Good Life is, as it stands right now, our relationship with Swery, is collectively a little rocky. The Good Life is really interesting.
Yeah, baby.
So yeah, baby. So this game starts and it just goes the essential premise of The Good Life is sort of that it's supposed to be a like daily life simulator where you're playing as a photographer. She's come to a small little hamlet in England, and in order to find out this weird mystery of the town, and through any promotional material, you'll know that one of the big secrets of the town is that at night every single person turns into either a cat or a dog. And then pretty quickly into the game, you also gain the powers to turn into a dog or into a cat and a dog, which is really interesting. Like, I had only known that you could turn into a cat. I did not know being a dog and having this cat-dog dynamic, this duality, this essentially a morality system, if you will, was such a big part of the game. But you get those mechanics pretty quickly, and it is the kind of game where I kind of expected it to take its time and like let you like really explore the space more and just get to know all the people in it before it starts introducing a whole bunch of like really wild story beats. I was dead wrong, because this game just fucking out of the box just hits you over the head with like weird mystery after weird mystery after weird mystery. Like, you'd think the thing is just like, oh, they turn into cats and dogs, that's weird. But there's so much more shit just out of nowhere. There's one really major thing, like, right towards the beginning of the game, which I kind of don't want to spoil, but I feel like I have to, because, like, The Good Life is really advertised as this sort of, like, non-violent game. Like, it's trying to give you the it's trying to give you like the perfect life experience in a sense. Like that's what it's trying to sell you on. Like here you are, you get this free house, you get to live in this town for as long as you want. You got to pay off your big exorbitant debt, but you'll get to that eventually. It's very like Animal Crossing inspired in that regard. But like spoilers, I guess, like really quickly a murder happens. And then it becomes like, and then part of the game becomes like a murder mystery. And it's like, okay, I get it. I've played Deadly Premonition. Like, yes, this is like, you're trying to walk along those same lines. I just like did not expect it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, like, as soon as you see this thing happen, it is like violent.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's like,
that was going to be my immediate follow-up question. Is it like, how it was depicted was really jarring, especially stylistically, how the game kind of looks cute. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's extremely
so it's not even just
jarring,
tone. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah,
right.
like you stumble upon a body.
And there's blood and all that, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, okay.
and it's like it genuinely shocked me, because I was just not expecting it from the tone of the game. Like, I should expect it from Swery, because, like, he made 2 Deadly Premonition games at this point. Like, he's not someone who is above, like, doing a murder mystery. Especially wrapping a murder mystery, like, into a really, like, extremely quirky, like, life simulator. But no, like, it feels like a game that's trying to retread a lot of the same, like, I guess aesthetic elements of Deadly Premonition well, not aesthetic, but, like, it's trying to hit like the same thematic beats of Deadly Premonition while also trying to be its own unique thing. And it's so much more toned down in a lot of ways. Like, you don't get a gun, you're not going out there shooting anyone, but you can transform into like a cat and a dog and use those forms to like fight animals,
Oh my god. So was the murder of a human though?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it's the murder of a main character that I will not spoil.
Okay.
But it is like, yeah, it's really really absurd that it comes out of nowhere so quickly. But it's, I don't, like, I still don't know what to think of it, because like throughout I've played about 4 hours of it so far, and it just keeps hitting you over the head with stuff. Like it just keeps introducing new elements, and each one is more absurd than the last. Like, so I got a part where I sort of got like 3 divergent quests, and like I got to choose which one I wanted to follow, and I'm like, all right, I'll go and follow this one, and I go and do it, and it brings me to this place where a literal sheep man starts talking to me, and is like, hey, if you want to go into this place, you're gonna have to become a knight. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll become a knight. That sounds cool. And then what becoming a knight involves is learning how to raise and tame sheep. And then you can also ride the sheep, and the sheep becomes like your horse equivalent.
Oh, man.
And then, of course, you get to name the sheep. And the first option that I got for naming my sheep, this is an option that was in the game that you can select, not something I entered myself, was https://. And then, of course, that's the name I picked.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's great. Like, what? Like,
working well.
Like, this is exactly like the kind of game this is. It's trying to present like absurd things over and over again to you, so you can like try and get yourself into the logic of the world. And I don't know. I'm finding it really interesting and engrossing so far. It's very funny because your character's a New Yorker and she hates this place. It's such a hellhole. And every character just speaks with like the most like Cockney accent possible.
Oh man.
Like, it's exactly what you expect from swearing.
Everyone sounds like that around here, totally.
I think the aesthetics are like really good, especially considering like, oh man, so this game looks like a PS2 kind of like early PS3 game,
Right.
Like a very early Xbox 360 game.
Right.
And it's like, man, they really like, I said this about like the first time I ever played Deadly Premonition, but they really don't make games like this anymore. Like the landscape is just like a flat texture.
Excellent.
The cutscenes that you're watching are all pre-rendered, like from the intro onwards, and they're also heavily artifacted.
Ooh.
It's a level of jank that like no one other than Swery could really pull off.
Mm-hmm.
There's also parts where it's like, it'll do a quick like in-engine cutscene where it like overlooks the city, and the frame rate just halts. It goes to like 2 like, it's so silly, and it's like, you can't like, it's all part of the charm of the game.
Right.
Which is why it works so well. So far, I'm having fun. I think I'm having fun. I'm having fun with this game. I wanna play more, which is a credit to it. I haven't seen a lot of like, I don't know, I'm still worried about maybe like running into a super problematic like representation of someone, because it is a swearing game.
Right, unfortunately, yeah.
But you know, so far, one of the main characters is a character that rides around in a wheelchair, and she like, much like a similar character in Deadly Premonition, she just constantly speaks in riddles. And it's interesting, but also it doesn't feel like offensive to disabled people.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Swery has learned yet.
Right.
And hopefully as I'm enjoying it, hopefully I don't run into a part that makes me go, oh, terrible, oh, awful, gross. But we'll see. That's the gamble you get with Swery nowadays.
Yep. Unfortunately.
But yeah, it's really interesting. I want to play more. I think that's all the games we have. We've been moving long on games. Oh fuck.
We got a lot of games.
We got a lot of games and a lot of news. Elvie, can you please tell me about this Animal Crossing?
Oh my god. I sure can. Well, I'm not going to go so further deep into it. You know, I don't need to really, I think. But there was a direct today, and one of the big announcements was, "Oh shit! Oh wow! It's been 87 years. Animal Crossing is getting an update, but a real update this time, not one that's like, oh, we got an event, we got a holiday. No, this is one of the last." No, it is not one of. It is the last big free update to the default game. And it's one of the biggest ones New Horizons will have. And there's tons of things, specifically like features that a lot of people have questioned in regards to like, why wasn't this in the game to begin with? Like these NPCs that have been in other games in the series, like our lovely pigeon, barista Brewster. You know, they're finally opening that cafe again. You know, you can go there, you can hang out, you can chill, drink some coffee. Don't drink too much coffee though. Then we're getting back Happen as well. And like other, and both those respective NPCs, like all their features that most people know of, or are coming back too. So that really does add a lot to the game as is. Several quality of life stuff, like improving like certain aspects to like customizing your house, adding a little more like subtle ways you can like flare that up. Like, there's like a more, there's kind of like a more complex lighting system they added, which is very interesting. Just a lot of several things that like, that definitely enhance the experience as like, what a lot of people feel that this game again should have had from the game. Yeah. Gyroids are fucking back. But the most important thing of all is that the Froggy chair is in there. Like Froggy chair is returning November 5th. Thank God. They also, another big thing they announced is that there will be a paid DLC that pretty much is incorporating the whole ass Happy Home Designer game in New Horizons, which is kind of nuts. And it's like $25, which I personally think is pretty fair. Because again, it's like a whole ass new game they're pretty much merging in another game. Put two and two, it's a sandwich. A nice, delicious sandwich. And that's wild because, Happy Home Designer kind of has, like, all these other, like, gameplay mechanics that kind of are very different and work on a different level compared to typical Animal Crossing games, especially when it comes to mapping out how furniture works and like all that, you know. And Happy Home Designer, essentially you're fulfilling requests for villagers and like making their houses, etc. You know, it's like a whole new thing. It's basically with this DLC, you're unlocking a whole new hub to make a whole ass new town, and that's kind of crazy.
Right.
That's fucking nuts.
Or specifically, like, you're getting the ability to set up like little micro towns for like different characters.
You can deprive a town of a hospital. Like, you can just let them perish, you know? It's just like, it's and yeah, coming with that is like new NPCs, like, you know, more stuff about that. You know, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful time. You know, maybe this will bring a little more life again into people going back into playing games. Certainly, I have not touched the game for a while either. But for sure, there was definitely a lot of frustration over, like, what is going on? You know, what is the deal? You know, and certainly, you know, it's obvious from the start. I think this game very much was impacted by the pandemic, and there were definitely pre the forewarning of like, oh, there's a pandemic affecting everyone worldwide and disrupting how like work is going and industries, you know, everything. It's disrupting everything. Even pre that, when the game was probably development, even before that was going on, there definitely is some weird problematic ways of how like the team structure is organized at Nintendo for some projects, right? And from my understanding, I think the Animal Crossing team also works on Splatoon. If I'm wrong, I definitely would like to be corrected. But very much, it seems like at the very least, if it's not Splatoon, it seems like the Animal Crossing team is not just working on Animal Crossing, which is weird. Because it's a big
I bet
IP.
there's a lot of I bet there's a lot of crossover between those kinds
and
of
for
teams.
sure, there's definitely some organizational issues going on there, and like for sure, I think that has definitely done the game a lot of disservice in regards to the pacing, I guess, of like update cycles and all that, and you know, questions of like, oh, what should we, you know, like again, like the whole thing where people like have data mined, and like like some of this stuff turned out to be true, as we have heard in update, you know. Things like crops, like, which is kind of nuts, because again, like other games have not had that really beyond like turnips you plant for stocks, essentially. And that turned out to be true. So yeah, very much there was a lot of hope in the game that for sure was lost, but hopefully something like this kind of resurges that. But yeah, in conjunction with that, you know, I'm not that familiar and don't have as much feelings for this, but it definitely seems like it sucks. In addition to the Animal Crossing update, that this also kind of like pairs with Nintendo announcing their premium plan for the new Switch, or you know, like, what's your
it's a
and
new
then, like,
tier
the pricing is absurd, so I guess you can go into that. Yeah,
it's the new tier of the Nintendo Switch Online expansion. Nintendo Switch Online currently costs $20 a year, which, you know, in and of itself is like whatever. Especially if you're not playing the Switch that much, it's like it can be a little annoying. So the Switch Online expansion includes the definitely not new, the ability to play like a limited selection of N64 games, the same way they had like their collection of NES and Super Nintendo games, as well as Sega Genesis games. And it's going to include this is so mildly confusing as to how it works, but if you're subscribed to the service, you will get the Animal Crossing DLC as part of it. And the subscription for the expansion is it goes up $30 to $50 a year.
Oh god.
Which is comparable to how Xbox and PlayStation have priced their online systems, and you know what? I don't like paying for those either. You know, I'd prefer just playing games on PC at this point. I don't like thinking about those. But yeah, it's really strange. I'm trying to find what the price was for family plans. Yeah, there you can still get a family membership. That is, with the expansion, is now $79.99. Which is just like, there's a host, and then that host like chooses accounts that it wants under it. So that's like one way to at least save money, but you know, it's still a very large amount of money to just pay for online and features that feel like they should really come with the Switch as is.
Oh yeah, and again, Nintendo's history with their online stuff is like, it's like, oh man, now you're asking to pay this much for it when it hasn't really improved, you know?
100%.
Like at all.
Yeah, there was also some confusion about the whether or not your DLC would still be available. Like if your the DLC for Animal Crossing would still be available if the subscription runs out. As far as I can tell, it like you'll still have access to that.
Yeah, that's what they said.
But yeah, it seems strange. Like hopefully like other expansion stuff in the future gets rolled into that, because then that might make that more of a viable purchase.
Right.
But $50 for
some not a lot
N64 games and Sega NES games, Sega Genesis games that, you know, let's be honest, I could play anywhere else. Probably have a better experience. Is really ridiculous. I don't know. I'll be interested in seeing how many people actually glom onto that, but I can't imagine that upsell seems like too much.
Right.
If I'm gonna get upsold, I gotta be upsold for a proper thing, like the N64 controller that's also out now.
They gotta give you that for free.
Yeah.
This is a common video game choo-choo segment, which is of course something we do every week, and that's talking crypto.
Oh.
Welcome to the crypto corner.
You know, as
new
you all
segment
know,
introduced. You're stuck.
Oh,
on
right.
A recurring one we've done all the time. You know, we're huge crypto heads over here.
So when we're talking about Bitcoin is down, invest in Mavcoin. That's my new cryptocurrency. Go ahead and
you should be investing in High Points on the High Network. Which they recently rolled that out, and anyone who doesn't know is High Network is the is the like paid service for how you watch on cinema at the cinema now. And they rolled out a High Point system, which is like essentially a parody of cryptocurrency. And they introduced today the ability to transfer stuff between wallets, and it is comically broken intentionally. Like, I tried to do a transfer to someone and it said error, and then it gave me that money back. It doubled that amount of money and gave it back.
Excellent.
To me. It's like, and it's not real. Like, you can't spend it on anything. It's just like bullshit, just for the sake of being bullshit. But like, it's funny. It like seeing people react to it. It's been fun, but let's not worry about that because we got more important stuff to talk about. Steam is now blocking all applications built on blockchain technology that issue or allow the exchange of cryptocurrencies or NFTs. Which, thank you, Steam. That is amazing. Thank you. Love you so much. That's great. Genuinely an amazing thing for Steam to do. This was reported by the developers SpacePirate.io for their game Age of Rust, which just based on its name sounds so unique and interesting. But they reported it as claiming that NFTs have value, which is a false thing. That's untrue. But I genuinely think the reason that they did this is the NFT market is so insanely volatile. The entire crypto market is so insanely volatile that it's like, if we try to allow this within our platform, we're going to be so liable to lawsuits. We cannot do this.
Right.
And also they have their own marketplace as is.
Right. And just for like, clarification, this is different from Rust, the game.
Yes.
This is called Age of Rust.
100%.
That's a very different game. You know, I don't know what their situation, but like this is called Age of Rust. So don't mix that up. We don't accidentally slander a different title that probably has nothing to do with this. But it's funny. I'm looking at their page, their Steam page now, their storefront page, and now the notice says, at the request of the publisher, Age of Rust is no longer available for sale on Steam. So I'm very curious. Yeah, how many pages now have this that had to get immediately pulled?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's actually one good thing they did. I think.
It is nice.
How nice.
In response to this, Tim Sweeney, the CEO of, I believe the CEO of Epic Games, has said that they are, The Verge has reported that Tim Sweeney has said that the Epic Games Store will welcome games that use blockchain tech provided they follow relevant laws, disclose their terms, and are age-rated by an appropriate group. So it's like, Epic wants to allow blockchain games, they want to allow blockchain games. They're currently not allowing crypto, but that is something they want to allow. They have said, Tim Sweeney has also said that, they specifically will not allow any transaction of NFTs because the market is, because of how volatile that market is. Mm-hmm. Which, you know, still a fucking, like, you know, the most, like, reactionary, like, oh, Steam's banning that, we're gonna allow it shit possible. But it seems like they're coming at it from a sensible kind of, like, you know, we're trying to mitigate any possible, like, potential lawsuits that might result. That might result of us including crypto and NFTs in our games. But if you're a blockchain based developer, come on in. That nasty Steam isn't gonna let you down here. You're all welcome. So that sucks.
Loved hearing your use of the word sensible when it came to talking about NFTs and cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Everyone knows I'm a big NFT head. I definitely haven't been having it out on Twitter with people over and over again.
Oh man, you gotta take care of yourself, though.
I do have to take care of myself, but I will say that after I specifically brought up the evolved apes thing to the founder of Loopify, who is an idiot, he stopped responding to me.
Oh, okay.
So that's a +1 for me in winning online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, in quick response to that, Neopets, you know, again, the virtual pet website that has still survived through
somehow,
and countless generations. And, largely the community is people who are pretty much our age at this point, it's pretty much people who stuck around are like, oh yeah, I'm going to go back. And then they did go back and they committed to it, which is kind of cool. That said, I don't know if there's a lot of actually younger generations of people on, Neopets. I feel like it sincerely is people like us who grew up on it. But yeah, Neopets has went through a tumultuous history of constant ownership changing, stemming from like, oh, here's this humble group of programmers who just wanted to make this cute thing, to Scientologists, to Nickelodeon. Who the fuck knows? I believe the most recent owner of Neopets is Jumpstart. I'm not sure who owns them, but I believe I'm gonna assume Jumpstart is like that company who makes the educational games. I played a lot of them as a kid. I think I do recognize that name. But unfortunately, like, there's been a tease for some sort of, like, NFT, like, Neopets project, and the Neopets, Neo-NFT, holy shit. And people thought it was a joke at first, and oh no, it's not. There's something in the works, and a lot of the Neopets community was like, fuck this, and really, no one wanted this. Like, absolutely no one wanted this. Ultimately, what it came down to is that the core staff who runs the site, again, who knows who's running who knows, is distinct from whoever is doing the metaverse thing. So it's definitely like the Neopets IP was licensed to whatever this thing is, unfortunately. So I'm not sure what this, I think this ties in with the fact that Neopets at some point was supposed to get like a tangible, like mobile version. I don't know if that happened. It probably has. But for sure, there have been rumblings.
I refuse to believe that website works on a mobile browser.
Oh, yeah. But for sure, it's definitely, like, murky. Like, again, the only response from, like, a representative of the brand was very much like, we take these concerns very seriously, but there's very much, like, nothing concrete over, like, I don't think this thing is going to be pulled, but who knows. But that very much was the justification over, like, what's going on. Like, the people doing this NFT thing is some sort of, like, other group of people who got the rights to use the Neopets IP to make something. Yeah. But very much, Neopets community, stay strong. You stayed strong for, like, how many decades at this point that you're still using Neopets, which is awesome. A lot of incredible artists, like in that fan community, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very much. They're still thriving on some sort of economy.
They posited a Neopia, and they're letting it thrive.
Hell yeah. But yeah, that situation sucks for them. Absolutely. I definitely feel that. It's like, man, tainting everything you love, you know?
Mm-hmm. Talk to me about what's going on with Paizo.
Sure, yeah. So Paizo is a tabletop, mostly, you know, like, what Paizo does is mostly, like, stuff pertaining to, like, tabletop games, role-playing games, board games. They are essentially a tabletop gaming company. And what they're most known for is Pathfinder and Starfighter. And people often, like, put them on a pedestal as, like, being like, oh, they're competing with Wizards of the Coast. When not really, unfortunately. They're not as big as them, for sure. But people like to liken Pathfinder as an alternative if one does not want to play Dungeons.
It's definitely a D&D alternative.
Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty sure Pathfinder, was derived from, like, a version of...
Oh, 100%.
It was, like, from an early version, an early edition of D&D. That someone decided to make their own thing.
Specifically third edition?
I think it's the 3.5 edition that someone decided, like, you know, I'm going to make this my own thing. And now it's like a distinct thing. So that's where that history is shared, really. And at some point, Paizo did have rights for some D&D stuff, but they have since lost it to Wizard. Ultimately, this has been brewing for a while. I have followed several people who have worked for Paizo and now no longer work for Paizo due to this current issue, in which there have been a lot of accounts that were like, you know, and like allegations saying things like, you know, there's been a huge mistreatment of like marginalized employees, people being, you know, as a result, people being pressured to leave or getting fired because of that, because of how vocal they are about some things. And ultimately, it boils down to that there are very specific cases of like harassment going on and abuse going on in Paizo's workplace. And in recent news, in terms of at least positive things that can hopefully develop from this, is that their employees have decided to unionize. And this is a big deal, not because of like just inherently the fact that they're unionizing, but also the fact that this is the first time I think anything in the tabletop gaming industry has this sort of momentum going on. I believe they are very much the first union in the tabletop gaming industry, and that's pretty cool. That rules. You know, we're seeing a lot of this across the US. Like, a lot of people are like, you know, fuck this shit. I can be treated better. I deserve better. And that's cool. This momentum is like just creating a huge ripple effect across different industries. And, you know, inherently, yeah, they're not video games, but they're still games, right? And like, you know, again, this very much will overlap and does overlap with the video games industry in some capacity, you know? Again, we have to kind of look at all these different industries, like, you know, tabletop, the tech industry specifically, yeah, in regards to like a lot of American developers being based in California, right? And around Silicon Valley, for sure. So it's, you know, I wish them well, very much, obviously, in full support of that. You know, it's awesome, you know, and who knows where this ripple effect will keep going, right?
Yeah, hopefully it leads to a lot more unionization in the RPG space.
Right.
I think there are, I don't necessarily know if it's the first union in this industry, but it is definitely one of the more
significant ones, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe, I know Janie works in, former member of the site, Janie works for a tabletop producer now, and I believe they're also unionized as well, but I would have to double check.
Right.
Moving on to some other news, we got a couple small quick hits. Solar Ash, the new game from Heart Machine, the people who made Hyperlight Drifter, has been delayed until December 2nd, 2021. It was originally supposed to come out around this week, I think.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It was very close to coming out, I believe, but they weren't quite prepared. I've been personally looking forward to that game for a bit. Yeah, it was originally supposed to be October 26th.
Oh, wow.
But they are not ready. I'm really looking forward to this game. Like, those people know how to make a really cool, really well-polished game that feels really good, and I'm really interested in seeing their take on doing it in 3D. Probably the bigger news story here under our quick hits section, which we've dubbed Paimon becomes a class traitor. So, okay, let's go a little bit into the context of this. Recently, the Genshin Impact Twitter they changed the name of their account from Paimon to Genshin Impact. And they've also started a new account based on a character in the game named, of course, Ella Musk. And the account is at Paimon to the Moon. And it seems like it's mainly just been like a place to showcase like
fan art,
Genshin Impact fan works. Yeah, like it seems neat. Like despite it being, focused on the character Ella Musk, who is very unfortunately named after terrible CEO of Tesla, dickbag, billionaire Elon Musk.
Which I still don't understand, because again, so none of these things make sense. So why,
It's because she's a smart science researcher,
she's a
and Elon
linguistics
Musk
researcher.
She's so smart at epic science.
But yeah, that's also goes into the theming of the account doesn't make sense, because why is she showcasing art if she's focused on languages? But then obviously it's because her name is funny, memes, LOL, that is why.
So a social media intern, we don't know, I can't say that for certain, but their social media account, recently posted, let me find the actual tweet because I just found the image in it. Let me just scroll up a tiny bit because we definitely have it here. Dear travelers, to celebrate reaching 2 million followers and then some, Paimon has decided to host a community challenge. Follow Ella Musk at Paimon to the Moon and check out the image below for what will happen when each milestone is reached. And here are the milestones. When 500k fans follow Paimon to the Moon, the @Genshin Impact account will be renamed back to Paimon. Okay, that's funny. Like, that's a pretty good one. I like that. At 1 million followers, Genshin Impact will follow at Elon Musk. When 3 million fans follow, Genshin Impact will invite at Elon Musk to stream Genshin Impact. At 5 million follows, CEO Daiwei will invite Elon Musk to visit Miyoho headquarters.
I'm doing like the Andre the Giant, whoa, back up, no.
It escalates. So...
And fan response to this was overwhelmingly negative.
And then they since deleted the post.
The post is now gone because it seems like fans across the aisle,
across the world,
across I would say there's two parties here. There's Genshin Impact fans who hate Elon Musk because he sucks, reasonably, and Elon Musk simps who saw this and were like, you think Elon Musk will give a fuck about this? You idiots, you unepic fails, you dumb morons. Like, it seemed like just across the board, no one wanted this.
This is the one thing.
They truly let the Genshin Impact people account know, and they did beat their ass at the QRTs.
God,
like I saw the numbers like in the morning before they finally decided to delete it, and they just got like so insanely ratioed that it was like holy. Like I've never seen anything like it before. I want to get a final count on how many people actually followed the Paimon to the Moon account, because it wasn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's now sitting at 78k.
Mm-hmm.
So like nowhere near even touching like 500k. And that was like, and they did get like a large injection of followers.
Right.
Like a bunch of people followed this account like after this was posted, even though like, it was a really stupid post.
Right.
It's terrible.
Not just the whole, like, why did they think this intersection of, like, people who play Genshin Impact would care about Elon Musk and vice versa, but also, like, for, having played also similar games where, like, other similar games too, where it's like, there's like a gacha aspect, there's like a whole currency, there's a separate premium aspect where, pay to win, etc., or pay to play. It's like a fucking selfish ass post, it's like, this is supposed to celebrate, like, the longevity of the game so far, the success of it so far, and instead you're making fans, like, do all these like social media numbers only to reward the CEO like a visit from a famous person. When normally these events I've seen for other games and I've experienced, it's usually like, oh wow, congratulations, you've been playing the game this long, or wow, it's like a special day for the game. We've been online for 5 years or so. You as a player will log in that day and you'll get some bonus points. You'll get some fun little gift in-game package. That's usually what happens. Yet here they decided, no, we're gonna get fucking Elon Musk to MiHoYo for some reason.
And the other thing is
will get any sense from the man. What?
Yeah, especially since the Genshin Impact player base has been, let's say, deprived of freebies. I play War of the Visions, which is obviously a fact that is very noted on this podcast. But they just give you a shitload of freebies every single day in that game, and it's usually a really substantial amount of stuff. And comparatively, when I was playing Genshin, I was getting nothing. I was just having a really boring time,
right? And
I spaced out and was like, nah, I'm not playing anymore. Because the amount of stuff it took to actually get a 10 pull was way too, it was so much work and it was so much grinding that I just didn't want to bother. And I don't have that problem with other games. And the Genshin people essentially proposing, here's a contest, and then you don't get anything out of it.
Yeah, you don't win the contest.
It feels
for entering it.
It feels like a slap in the face to a lot of Genshin fans. But also on top of that, the other weird thing is we don't know whether or not Tesla or Elon Musk was involved in this at all.
I don't think so.
Elon Musk did eventually tweet about it. He made a stupid tweet because he's a stupid idiot who fucking sucks.
Right. Reaping attention. But it sounded like he was never informed of this. That's what the tone of it.
That's what it feels like.
It sounded like he's making fun of how stupid it was himself,
Yeah. Which of course he would do because everyone hated it.
Yeah.
But the thing is Tesla is not above working with mobile games.
Oh, absolutely not, of course.
There's an ad campaign for a game that is coming out soon called Ragnarok Online, which their ad campaign is if you pre-register for this game, you could win a Tesla.
You'll just win a fucking car. Okay. All right.
And the thing is, the campaign itself, is very focused around, oh, here's all these cool mounts in the game. Here's a mount you could win in real life. A Tesla? And it's it doesn't actually make clear whether or not, you would get, a similar Tesla mount. Or even if you do win a real Tesla. I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell if you win a Tesla mount in the game or if you win a real Tesla, but I think it's a real Tesla.
You win your own personal Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Which I think is crazy, because why would you want to potentially kill your player base like that, literally in a fiery explosion?
But yeah, absolutely. Of course, Elon Musk and Tesla, they're very opportunists. They will grab onto anything that makes them cool. Very much Elon Musk at least tries to make himself known as yeah, I'm a fucking nerd. I watch anime. I play video games. There's that whole video where it's oh yeah, I fucking play Cyberpunk in my car because I don't need to drive. Ha ha. They very much latch onto that. He very much latches onto that image of being the relatable quote unquote nerd when he's not, but I think it's very clear that I feel there would have been some sort of build up that this would have happened if it was an approved collaboration, and which I don't think it is now. This was a very bizarre, poorly planned, misguided thing that someone in the PR team thought was good and no one else said it was, and they just decided to do it anyway.
Rose has a theory that they were just joking and taking the piss because their numbers are unbelievably unrealistic.
Oh yeah.
And the first thing is obviously a joke, we would change our name back to Paimon, but it's it's still
right. But what did
this is still centered around a character in their game, irreversibly named Ella Musk,
right? And then what is the for what? Why? Why would you do that? Again, on a date that should be positive. And you're celebrating the player base and thanking them for supporting the game. What is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of stirring that? And it's not April Fools. It's not And what is the impact now of that? Now it just makes you.
It just made them look so fucking stupid.
Yeah, and it's so mean spirited. People are just very now.
Yeah.
Pissed by that. that didn't do anything like in any direction.
Truly a baffling decision all the way around.
Yeah.
That's news. Oh my god.
God, that was news.
We're so close to finishing. All we have left are questions. If you want to send us a question, you can go to videogamechuchu.tumblr.com/ask. You will sound a lot like the people asking us all of these weird questions, such as this anonymous person who asks, what would be the best/worst game to play using the N64 controller?
Bayo 2.
Oh man, there's so many like older games out there that just like have completely obtuse like control schemes that we don't get anymore.
Right.
And because everything's been streamlined to hell, but oh man, I'm trying to think of like anything. Like the thing I can remember the worst about the N64 controller is like that one Mario Party game where you kind of had to palm the thumbstick, and then if you did that enough times, you would actively damage your hand.
Just the thumbstick alone is enough that I think that makes a lot of games unplayable or really painful, especially if they're for some reason mapped to that, and that's like unfortunately a vital way to move a camera, which has been a lot of them, you know. It's such a weird shape,
I think we need a third hand to play it, to play like anything, really. I don't know, it's a weird thing. Like, I don't have a lot of, like, the N64 was not my console growing up. I was a PlayStation 1 kid.
Yeah.
But, you know, I did play, I played a couple of my friends' N64s back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I think about it now, like, playing anything on that just seems unfathomable.
Probably like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking. I feel like a lot of stuff today, would not be okay with that. It'll be very unwell.
I mean, we're gonna people are gonna have the opportunity now with that the new version of it that's coming out. So we're gonna get some real fun experiences out of a new N64 controller. Anyone have any thoughts on what game you would want to play on the N64 controller?
Oh god,
Mario Odyssey probably sucks ass on that. Breath of the Wild probably sucks ass on that.
Pretty much any Nintendo game.
Anything that relies on that second right analog stick, because baby, we got the C buttons.
Oh man, I'm just thinking about like playing any kind of like first person shooter on that.
Oh.
And it's like, you know, that was the GoldenEye thing.
Yeah.
But also like GoldenEye had like really obtuse controls. Right. It's like, what if you made an actual real, like played an actual real FPS on that now? Like, are you just gonna die? Like, yes. This next question comes from Cello Buster. Cello Buster asks, what would the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass have to include for the price to be? What would the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass have to include for the price to be worth it?
Earthbound 64.
Yeah,
Just the full unabridged complete version of Earthbound 64.
I feel like if they actually for what it's worth, like the sort of like Netflix style of older games in their catalog, being playable, like it is such a good idea. But those catalogs themselves are so fucking tiny.
Mm-hmm.
They need to just like put weird shit on there.
Absolutely, but all the niche stuff.
But also, I think they need to give you like some other like actual games. I think,
right?
Like the way comparative services at this point like gave you a free game every month, and like Nintendo obviously trying to avoid that, but there needs to be something for this service to pay off because it's not there yet. Like if I can't even think of any other Nintendo games with major expansion passes coming out that like that service could cover, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if that becomes like part of the business model for Nintendo going forward, I feel like it would set a really bad precedent for them to just like hold back content for expansion passes, which is, I thought, a future that we narrowly avoided. And I've already like diverted ourselves back onto the right course for, but you know, it can always go south again.
Yeah, there's definitely like a lot of games that just never released from the Wii and DS era that I would love to see. Hello, get some, dust off. Hello, where are they? Looking for them. They're not here. Well, I'd like to play them again. They're basically just lost. Well, not, it's exaggerating to say they're lost, but it's like, what happened? I don't know. I also think of what are the remaining titles left that are exclusive to the Wii U?
None.
Really? Oh,
they're all,
really?
They're like they've all been done at this point.
Nintendo Land,
has been robbed
baby.
from them.
The answer is Nintendo Land.
that Reddit community. Oh God, they're so happy though somehow.
Yeah,
I wish I had that. Like, I don't know, whatever audacity they have to just be that way.
Right.
Our next question comes from Gremlin Warren. Gremlin Warren asks, do you think Rob Posse overstepped his authority as the Nissan general counsel? No, I think whistleblowing is cool. You should always whistleblow. This question, I'm gonna pose it to you, LV, and if you don't want to answer this question, you feel free to say no, and then we'll just skip it.
Oh, okay.
This one's from Anonymous. Anonymous asks, why did Cheech not do any content to celebrate Jim and BTS's birthday?
I don't know. I feel like we as Chooch aren't really on the side of like the guy groups. I think we're on the side of the girl groups. I've swore.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I am pretty sure we have some like Red Velvet fans in here that no one wants to admit, but no.
The wrestler?
Maybe that too. Like, yeah, they'll collab. They're going to collab with the girl
group. The Fabric?
Of the same, yeah. The Fabric, the girl group, and the wrestler. They got to work together. I think that will be a very dynamic trio. That will change
I like
history.
when she does the final slice.
But yeah, I don't even know what his birthday is. So, apologies.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Question deleted.
We can redact that from the record.
No, it's staying in. I'm looking at the rest of these questions. I don't like any of them. This one from Anonymous just says thoughts on Elden Ring. I think it looks neat.
Horse
jump.
jump.
You answered that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked a lot about my thoughts on Elden Ring at this point. I don't know. It's coming out. Like, I'll know when it comes out. Leave me alone.
If I can play it, that'll be cool.
Deleted. I would love to play it. This guy is asking about Akiba's strip. I'm gonna delete that one too.
This is not the episode for that.
This question from Anonymous just asks, Paimon?
Paimon? I don't know.
Paimon, this is really not the time.
Rations.
After what you did, like, let's put you away for now. You're on thin ice.
Paimon is on thin ice for being my Oomphy.
The cooking equipment is getting prepped. The heat, the oven is starting. We got to preheat the oven. It's beginning. She is on thin ice.
Deleted. Okay, I got one last question. This question comes from Anonymous. Again, if you want to sound like Anonymous, if you just generally want to be anonymous, you can do that many ways online, but you can also do it by going to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask and asking questions such as, why were cavemen such a hallmark in early 90s platformers? Bonk, Toki, Chuck Rock. I can't see the appeal.
I mean, like, Flintstones also pretty much, like...
Flintstones? Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, like, also around.
They
earlier,
nailed it.
Flintstones is a little older than that, too.
Flintstones is very old, but I feel like... It did have that, like, 90s revival with, like, the like, live-action movie and stuff.
Oh, God, yeah. Because, like, again, Flintstones is, like, even 60s, 70s it started, and then...
Yeah.
Then, we had the weird modern, like, take on Flintstones with the live action.
But it persisted for a really long time until finally, in the 2000s, people stopped giving a shit about old stuff. I think it is weird that, like, so many games had, like, cavemen.
Maybe, like, if we look at that time, is there also, like, a lot of dinosaur stuff, too?
Well, there is dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park probably also... Well, Jurassic Park is specifically dinosaurs, so I don't know about, not cavemen, so I don't know, I can't really answer the caveman question.
I mean, when you think about it, it really is a prehistoric time for games.
Well, a lot of
Okay.
games asked, what if there was a caveman?
Oh man.
Chuck Rock is also weird because it's like, oh, he's also like in a rock band.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Get a rock band?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I will say a lot of stuff really just
Like
leaned
the Stone
into the
Age?
extreme radical aesthetic and is such a specific nugget in time because of that.
Thanks so much for
Are you
listening
okay?
to the Video Game Choo podcast. I don't know if we have anything else to add about
we
video game cavemen,
absolutely
but-
do not. We have
Anonymous. Thank you
we
so
have
much for
nothing
your
to add about
question.
cavemen. It's okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Deleted. You're gone. Thank you so much for listening to the Video Game Choo podcast. If you like what we do and want to check out more, you can always go to videogamechoochoo.com, visit us on Twitter at VGChoochoo, go to tumblr.com, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com, and you can add a /ask to ask us questions for the podcast. Facebook.com/videogamechoochoo, YouTube.com/videogamechoochoo, Twitch.tv/VGChoochoo. And if you want to support us, you can always go over to patreon.com/VGCC to buy our $3 Express Pass, where you can get all of our premium content a week early, which includes Unlimited Railworks, our anime podcast. I don't know if we have any other projects up there at the moment, but I assume soon. You can also join our Discord at thegamezone.zone. And if you like our music, you can always go and check out Melt Channel /Magic Circuit. We do, of course, thank them for our theme song Crush, which is off the album Magic is Real. You can check them out at meltchannel.bandcamp.com and magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. LV and Maverick, where can we find you?
You can find me at twitter.com at LVMAPARIN for both art, maybe sometimes.
All right. You can find me at Madsplania on Twitter. That's at MAVSPLANIA.
I'm Scott Blah on Twitter at SEOTTBLAH. If you guys want to give actual credits, is anything to expect from y'all in the near future?
For sure. But yeah, just kind of taking it easy right now. Yeah.
I'm trying to
Okay,
get through some stuff, but hear more from me as we eventually get into our inevitable Game of the Year setup. 'Cause,
Oh, God,
wow.
Oh boy,
It's gonna
yeah, we've started Game of the Year stuff.
It's very scary time.
It is scary. It's a scary time to be doing. Thank you so much again for listening to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Goodbye, good night, bang, chugga chug.